I think for me, one of the most powerful verses in the Bible is Matthew 10:34. Do not think that I came to bring peace on the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Now, in the context of transformation, I think this sword represents a cutting away of illusions, the attachments, the falsehoods, the doubt, the lukewarm living. Lukewarm gets spit out, as it says elsewhere in the Bible, to really cut these aspects of our old self so that we can begin anew. And think when you want to share your truth but you suppress it and you water it down because you fear it might be judged, or you want to express the depth of your heart but fear holds you back, you stay in the comfort of the shallow. You want to stand in your power, but social structure, societal conditioning means you conform and you play it safe. You don't want to stand out. Now, to cut through these chains, as Christ says, one must pick up the sword. It's the sharp sword of truth that cuts through the lies of the world, and more importantly, the lies that we tell ourselves, which can be very, very, very subtle. And on the path of authenticity, the path of transformation, man requires this sword. And to me, this sword represents cutting away of the old self, the masks of false identities, the attachments that keep us almost enslaved to the past, our wounding, the programming, the childhood conditioning. We have a certain set of behaviors that we then repeat over and over again based on this historical evidence. The sword is required to cut these away, to cut through the fear that we've fallen to, that says you're not worthy or you're not good enough. And these are almost always illusions, the fear we have based on this lack of worth, or not feeling that we're good enough. The fear is almost always an illusion, false evidence appearing real, and faced with the sword of truth, they become dispelled. Now, the sword is about moving forwards with courage, slaying weakness, the laziness, the procrastination, the sort of comforts that we get used to, the hesitation. And we can either stay comfortable in the pretense and pretend that these illusions are keeping us safe in the familiarity, or we strike this clean with the sword of truth, and we begin living from this state of unpredictability, creativity, potentiality, mystery that comes in the new. And when we remove all of those things that hold us back and keep us safe, we can create from this new space. And the hardwired patterns we repeat over and over again since we're young that make up our personality, our identity, they're so binding, and they also require a clean cut. We want to be breaking free of the loops that keep us stuck, repeating patterns and circumstances and experiences, and we're getting the same results. Cut them clean. So you begin thinking in new ways, behaving in new ways. And perhaps most importantly, your voice, sharing your truth. How much do we avoid saying the hard things, sharing vulnerable aspects of ourselves, or saying things that perhaps may make people feel a bit uncomfortable? The sword is bold and it cuts through the doubt. Your voice is required in this moment of time. Your truth is needed. We need people speaking from their heart. And so it's important to be picking up the sword and cut through all of the crap and the noise that stops you from doing so. And beyond all of the love and light and the suffering, the compassion, the sacrifice of Christ, he was a man of truth, a man of transformation. And Christ is king because he demonstrated that one can die to the former self and be reborn in truth. So his love empowers, his sword purifies and ultimately demands action. And so perhaps it's time to pick up the sword and go forth. Peace.